Today, we're going to talk a lot about what everyone is navigating in this weight loss world. We want to talk a little bit about the comparison of GLP-1s, metabolic resets, metabolic function, and how we can optimize our outcomes safely and effectively using these different tools. What we've come to realize is if the body is holding weight, there's a bigger metabolic concern that's happening. We want to make sure that we're not just forcing weight off, we're not losing muscle and creating a bigger concern of lower metabolism, slower metabolism, and a rebound of weight post-weight loss, but we're actually truly correcting the metabolic function on a cellular level, making sure that everything is in harmony so that weight comes off naturally as things are functioning in the way that they're supposed to, in the order that they're supposed to, and that everything is easier to maintain. We've come to realize at Powell Studio, if the body is holding weight, there's a bigger problem. It's not just about forcing weight off. We don't want to force and waste away muscle. We want to make sure that we are correcting the metabolic dysfunction. We're supporting cells on a cellular level and making sure that that ability for it to feel safe to remove fat and to optimize your energy and your fat burning mechanism in a healthy way is completed with the tools that we have at the office. There's so many different concerns that we really need to dive deeper into to address that root cause of why weight is staying on the body in the first place. We think about hormonal dysfunction, poor sleep, gut health, insulin resistance. Your body is not taking on the calories and the carbs or the foods that you have and using it as a proper fuel source. We're storing it because it feels afraid to burn it. And we want to make sure that when we think about all of these different cycles of metabolism and different segments of metabolism, that we're addressing all of them prior to thinking that our body is going to feel safe to lose weight. I know it can be discouraging that it's not happening in the way you want it to, despite diet and exercise and efforts of supplementation. But you really need to think about if you are at a high level of stress, your body needs to focus on that healing. It's smart and it wants to make sure that it's protecting you, correcting those things first, and then it will focus on weight loss. We have everything at our access as far as snacking and foods all day and convenience. And these have added things like salts and fats, and really paying attention to our macros and what we're taking in mindfully, not thoughtlessly, as we hustle through our day and create a lot of chaos for the body. This only slows our results. And so I want to make sure that you think about all of that list of different metabolic functions. Are you staying calm? Are you high stress? Are you sleeping well? Are you staying up late on those screens? Are you forcing the body to recover incessantly by overworking out? Are you not moving enough because you're sitting at a desk all day? These are different things you want to take into consideration. Are you having daily bowel movements, or are you constipated? Are you not digesting your foods appropriately because you have low stomach acid? We don't have nutrients if we're not breaking our food down appropriately, and we have slowed digestion and processes that need to take the forefront of utilizing our resources before the body is going to focus on fat loss and muscle building. These concerns are exactly what THINNR was created for. Many are using GLP-1s, but injectables and consequences are not for everybody. Every single thing that we have for our tools in our toolbox that are prescription and pharmaceutical based have pros and cons. And so I've found that people who are not looking to utilize a GLP-1 in the moment or even for the long term are looking for a different solution. THINNR, although I wish it was called something else like metabolic reset, we've realized that sex sells, and so does THINNR. And so we know that there's no question about what THINNR does. It's going to make you thinner. But what I know is that it's going to lower inflammation in the body. It's going to lower cortisol in the body. It's going to create an environment and a lifestyle where your body feels safe to burn fat, not sugar. It's going to help you create a lifestyle that you can continue to maintain and that it is all natural and homeopathic. There's no risk of gallbladder disease. There's no decreased gastric motility. This could lead to an obstruction. This could lead to poor absorption. This could lead to delayed gastric emptying, can cause a multitude of different things. And so we want to make sure that utilizing different tools, it's understanding clearly, is this the right tool for me? is this going to support my goals in the short term, but also in the long term? As we come into this generation, we're noticing an increase of weight everywhere. If you thought about decades prior, no one had this concern. What is the cause? It's higher inflammation, higher stress, higher cortisol. We end up with other things that are happening like higher cholesterol, higher cardiac risk. And so originally GLP-1s were for your diabetic patient. But when they realized that all of these different concerns are being addressed with GLP-1s, that it's lowering inflammation, that it is improving your cardiac risk, that it's able to lower cholesterol, and it's driving what everyone is desiring, is feeling good in their skin and losing those excess pounds that do put us at a significant health risk. I know that it's trendy, and so we do not always follow trends. We have our leaders in the space, and I kid all the time. I love them. They are always the first to go at it and make sure that they are implementing the newest thing. At Powell's Studio, I take a step back, I take it all in, and I'm learning all the time about risk versus benefit. I think there's a specific person for your GLP-1s, and it's also something that doesn't work for everybody. And that's where our THINNR program was implemented into the office. I have people who come in and they want hormone replacement. They're not feeling well. They're asking for peptides. They're wanting other solutions, but they're starting with chronic inflammation. And those things cannot be added until you can lower the inflammation in the body. We keep saying we wish THINNR was called something else, but we know that it is clear about what the goal is when we utilize this tool for everyone else that's purchasing. But for me, it's about that metabolic reset, that ability to have cellular function optimized. It's about your body utilizing all of your fuel strategically, about having your meals and your lifestyle implemented so that your cells can recover, they can lower inflammation, and they can receive all of the tools of weight loss appropriately. We really struggle when things get out of whack. If our cortisol is up, we may have sugar cravings. If our blood sugar is unstable and that energy is not being received in and out of the cell, we may have energy crashes. We may feel better at certain points, and then we may need a nap mid-afternoon. This is going to help by taking this natural homeopathic medication. THINNR is going to be a 3 times a day supplement that is going to be with zero risk. And so you are going to have this controlled meal plan, this controlled strategy, and this controlled opportunity to have a reset of your whole day-to-day that's going to drive a 20 to 30 pound weight loss in a 42-day period of time. This is unheard of without muscle wasting, especially. We use our Sika scale and pictures to make sure that we're optimizing everyone's starting point, and that we know by proven results over and over and over again in the office that we are not wasting away of muscle. That is a consequence of some of our other medications that are being sourced, not because they all cause that, but because they decrease appetite. Our GLP-1s had an initial higher response of muscle wasting. What happens when you muscle waste? You lower your metabolism. You fuel your body double the speed when you are full of muscle. And so you think that you had a metabolic problem when you started your weight loss journey. Wait until you try and come off of your GLP-1s or come off of some of your other supplements, even metformin or some of our others that are supporting our insulin and our ability to fuel. You need to make lifestyle changes in conjunction with, and that is why this pathway of THINNR has been so valuable, because it teaches people and it holds them accountable of how they can live their life without the everyday glass of wine, without the fried foods, without the incessant takeout, with organizing their meal with different ways of fuel sources. We want to bring back our fruits and vegetables that everyone was afraid of. They were a carb. Oh my gosh, so bad. No, we want to make sure that not everything's coming out of a package. We want whole protein and fruits and vegetables as part of our meals. Some gentle intermittent fasting allows for cellular repair, allows for gut health, allows for optimization of energy, and to burn fat instead of carbs. So of course, it's fun to talk about all the positives first, but there's always a concern with everything, THINNR included. And so we talk about when we're in our 42-day reset, we are not having strenuous, vigorous workouts. There is a reason for this, although we want you to implement them right as soon as you finish, because we know that movement is really important for longevity and health. When we're creating inflammation in a space where the body needs to repair, it can't focus on fat loss. So we're driving this opportunity for brisk 20-minute walks, a gentle yoga, things that lower cortisol but keep you strong, not the intense cardio workout, the hour long at the gym of heavy weights and lifting. We want to be strategic during this 42-day reset period of lowering inflammation. So people think like, oh my gosh, I can't leave my workouts. So this is something you do need to take into consideration. We want to make sure that you know that although we have strategic decrease in caloric intake during these 42 days, that our goal is not to leave you there deprived and with less food. It's to drive a revved metabolism, an improved fuel, improved energy after you have resolved your 42 days and completed them successfully and are confident in your new skin, and making sure that you know how to maintain your results. That lifestyle implementation is everything. When I mentioned that people were muscle wasting on GLP-1s, it was not because of the medication. It was because their appetite was down. They weren't changing lifestyle. They were using a quick fix that didn't necessarily require them to implement it all as a whole. They had to make an active choice to do that. And they needed to choose optimal health. They needed to choose to dive deeper. Why was this a problem in the first place? Where did my system go wrong and fail me? I'm not a failure, but I do need to adjust all of the different spaces of diet, energy, metabolism, lifestyle in order to deliver the results that we're really looking for. We're not just looking to muscle waste, look gaunt, be skinnier. This ages us rapidly. We want to have healthy skin, not lack skin. We want to have muscle activity and energy and strength. And that's what you can get with the THINNR program. We'll maintain that muscle by implementing workouts as soon as you're done with your 42 days that are more vigorous. You'll implement breakfast, another added 300 calories, but you'll maintain this lifestyle of choosing whole, healthy foods. I have many clients who have had an opportunity where a splurge is happening. I said, stop looking at this like a cheat. It's a planned indulgence. It's living. Do we know that this is not what's in our best interest for everyday choices? Of course. So although we have these tools, someone on our social media channel just said yesterday, you cannot out-inject or out-supplement the work. You have to still put the work in. And that's where the THINNR pathway has come into Powell Studio with such success, is that we've been able to, not as a dietitian, but as a support and a cheerleader, strategize how they put the whole picture together and lower their risk of complication and allow them to maintain successfully the outcome they're truly desiring, feeling their best in their skin, in the size that they hope for, lowering cardiac risk, and optimizing their longevity. Weight loss is not just about feeling your best and looking your best. It's about strategy and getting to the root cause of the problem for long-lasting, maintainable results. If this episode resonated with you and you'd like support with THINNR and some of our pathways of anti-aging, weight loss, and metabolic support, please reach out. We look forward to working with you.